Conservation today means far more than just preserving our natural resources. It means their wise use and protection so that more and more people may enjoy and benefit from them. Only in so doing may our individual human resources be enriched. Lawrence Rockefeller, 1955.
As the National Park Service embarks on its second century, take a moment and cherish our nation's magnificent landscapes and cultural and historic treasures. Our national parks are iconic symbols of our country's unique identity, heritage, and evolution. Since parks anchor us to our history and hold the promise of our future, National Park Trust is dedicated to preserving parks today and creating park stewards for tomorrow.
Since 1983, NPT has completed land acquisition and preservation projects, benefiting more than 40 national parks. From the purchase of 11,000 acres of the original Great Plains to establish the Tallgrass Prairie National Preserve in Kansas, to the addition of 32 acres to one of the most biodiverse ecosystems at Indiana Dunes National Lakeshore on the shores of Lake Michigan, from the protection of the endangered desert tortoise at Mojave's National Preserve, to the Fort Stevens Civil War battlefield in our nation's capital, and from the preservation of the viewshed of the Chesapeake and Ohio Canal to the backcountry of the White Chief Silver Mine in Kings Canyon National Park.
In honor of the 100th anniversary of the National Park Service, NPT is now working to acquire 100 land parcels encompassing all geographic regions of the Park Service, including Olympic National Park in Washington, Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore in Michigan, Manassas Battlefield in Virginia, and the Appalachian Trail in Maine. These parklands are of high priority to our national parks, and many are at risk of development.
The next generation, our youth, are critical for the continued preservation of our parks. Unfortunately, children today are more disconnected from nature than ever before, especially those living in underserved urban communities. Since 2009, National Park Trust's Buddy Bison School program has been combating this trend.
How do you feel right now?
Being in the redwood forest makes me feel short.
This school year, NPT welcomed 17 new Title I elementary and middle schools across the country, including in Chicago, St. Louis, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, San Francisco, St. Paul, Los Angeles, Boston, and New York. This brings the total number of active Buddy Bison schools to 62.
Plus, every fourth grader in Washington, D.C. and Ventura County, California, along with many fourth graders from Illinois, Maryland, New Jersey, and Texas, received grants allowing them to discover their local national park as a part of the federal Every Kid in a Park program. Through their outdoor experiences, these students learned not only that parks are wonderful outdoor classrooms for science, history, and social studies, but also great places for fun outdoor recreation and critically important spaces worthy of preservation.
Furthermore, NPT created Kids to Parks Day in 2011, a national effort to engage all children and their families in a countrywide day of outdoor play. Children from all socioeconomic communities, urban, suburban, and rural, are encouraged to explore, discover, and enjoy their local parks, public lands, and waters.
In 2011, there were 18,000 active participants. In this, our seventh year, more than 1 million participants enjoyed 1,700 park events and programs across the country.
455 mayors and town councils proclaimed the day, and a Senate resolution was passed. And our Kids to Parks Day National School Contest awarded 70 Title I schools from 28 states and Washington, D.C. with park grants to celebrate the day.
Theodore Roosevelt said, "The nation behaves well if it treats the natural resources as assets, which it must turn over to the next generation increased and not impaired in value." Join National Park Trust as we prepare for the second century of the National Park Service by protecting our national parks today and cultivating tomorrow's stewards of these iconic places for the enrichment of all of our lives.